Hello everyone and welcome back to another Dark and Darker video. Today I'm going to be making 10,000 gold on Rogue. I'm using Double Jump, Smoke Pot, Lockpick Mastery, and also Hide at the beginning here. This is not what I would recommend you use, however. I'll get to that later. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm using this interactive map on the Dark and Darker wiki, the Dark and Darker Spells and Guns wiki, and you can click on whatever map you're doing here. I am doing Ruins. Ruins is really good money right now. Also, I'm only going to be showing the really good runs here, and I would recommend, if you don't already have like a snack or some water put together, this is a long video. Go ahead, get yourself some popcorn and come back. Now, this is probably my third run, I want to say. This is not my first run, and I had a couple that just failed. I died almost immediately because I got rushed down at spawn, and I do not have that much experience on Rogue out of all the classes. And that's because I don't particularly like him for PvP, but as far as he goes for earning money and these sort of runs, he is phenomenal. Death Skulls are still worth looting, by the way. They still have fairly good item drops, so I would recommend you still loot them. Things like lockpicks can go for 50 gold. And then you can also get throwables and other things that can help you in the match. And right here, I'm still on 0 gold. I haven't had an extract yet, so I haven't been able to buy rapiers yet. And that is hugely detrimental to me. Rapiers are way better for PvE on Rogue. You can make an argument for daggers may be better in PvP because you can rush people super fast and kill them super quickly due to the faster attack speed with a weapon damage setup. This spawn I got here is the best spawn, by the way. It has a royal coffin underneath, and also this is a gold or a lion's head chest. Get a windlass crossbow here, and a phoenix choker, and a couple of good items. Now, you also might be wondering, okay, is this before or after the loot nerfs? So, the loot nerfs, as far as I can tell, weren't very big, actually. But the first couple of games here are before the loot nerfs. I did this over a couple different days. And then I'll let you guys know when we're past the loot nerfs. And I think you guys will see the same as what I've seen here, that it just doesn't impact much at all. That's a really good find there, by the way, that Shadow Mask plus 2 all attributes. And I'm basically looking for the lever here because I still don't know the map very well at this point. I hadn't played much Ruins because I normally like to play solo crypts, or sometimes I'll play a Goblin Caves or two. But I just didn't know Ruins all that well, and you'll see me get better at Ruins as we go on. And once again, this is why I would recommend using the interactive map. I just pull it up on my other screen when I don't know the map very well, and it's pretty helpful. Here we got dire wolves on me. I'm just trying to run past so I can get to another area with more loot. And we just jumped over there. And those are players right there because there's a spawn right here. That is a lion's head chest right there that they have already looted. And I need to run very quickly. I should have smoke potted right there. That would have been helpful because it could have slowed them down. Although hide would not be helpful to me here. I don't have like the movement hide or anything like that. If I had movement hide, I could get away a little better, but... Okay, I popped the smoke pot there. I'm just trying to slow them down. I believe it slows them down like 20%. And I said earlier I would tell you what perks I would think are best here. The active perks I would bring would be Rupture and Caltrops now. Caltrops makes it really hard for people to chase you because it can slow their movement speed down by 50%. Smoke Pot is good for running away in tight corridors, but Ruins is not very tight corridors. And Hide isn't good without other perks on that make Hide better. And I don't believe those perks are worthwhile to use when you're just trying to avoid people. And Rupture helps you clear enemies faster, which is very necessary sometimes. And I have another group here on my left. You will keep in mind with Ruins that this map has a ton of players on it. It's more than crypts. And because it's duos, it's way more groups than crypts. So you need to be very sneaky if you actually want to live here. And the best way to do that is to learn all the zones underneath the map. There is a ton of areas underneath the map that you can go and hide in. And I didn't know them all at the time. I already knew some of them. And I missed the lockpick here. And the more of them you know, the easier it is to just stay somewhere where players are not an issue. And right here in this room, you can go up on top of the big pot. This one is always a Zweihander skeleton, and it won't be able to get you then. Waiting for a double attack here. Kind of tried to hit him in the knee there because I'm getting impatient. And what attack they go with is just random. Okay, we're opening up a lion's head chest here. This one is oftentimes a gold chest. And we get some purple trousers, and we also get a couple other items. Those weapons actually are not worth taking. I would recommend that you stay away from any barbarian two-handed weapons. They just basically are never worth the slots unless you're talking it's a felling axe with god rolls. That would be the only time I would really take it. And that's despite felling axe being not the best two-handed weapon. Warmaul is definitely the best two-handed weapon, but there's just oversupply of those because not many of your worst players use those. Really, only your toppest tier players use those. And so, yeah, I just wouldn't grab them. Go ahead and grab yourself some more treasures and sell them. It's just not really worth grabbing. Now, if you have one slot gear items like jewelry, absolutely take those. Those are absolutely worth taking. Boots are oftentimes worth taking because you can sell them in any chat, especially if you have good rolls on them, like weapon damage, that I would pick up. But battle axes, no, absolutely not. I would really avoid two-handed axes whenever you can. And right down here, I still don't know this area very well that I'm going to over here, so I don't know the exact best way to clear it. I think the best way to clear it is realistically to jump down here. And then there's two dire wolves down here that you go ahead and drag, you kill them, and then there's a little cave you run into with 3 skeletons, and you kill them. Killing those 3 skeletons is huge because there are gold ore deposits behind there. So if you have a pickaxe, that can be huge. And also there is a gold chest spawn back there, so you get some gear items, some treasures, and some gold ore all back there. And so I'm checking it out here. I believe this is the first time I've actually gone to this area. I was seeing it on the minimap, though, and I wanted to know how it looked back there. And so now I've got like 5 skeletons on me, which is not a good time, especially considering one is an elite Zweihander skeleton. And I'm thinking, wait, why would I want to deal with this? And we get a couple rogues here. This guy sees me. That guy could absolutely attack me if he wanted to, but he doesn't particularly want to. He's just avoiding me. He's thinking I might have the hide perk where I can actually move around, which would allow me to landmine attack him. That is not what I've got going on here. That was me trying to be stealthy. Hide perk is not good for being stealthy anymore. You're much better off just hiding in corners. And when you go into hide, it creates a like super bright effect for a good half a second. And so it's actually detrimental to your ability to be stealthy. I would not recommend hide unless you're going for that landmine PvP build. This is a completely different build where we're just trying to rat. We're not going for PvP. We're going for loot, and I'm avoiding all this. Now, obviously here I have become friendly with these 2 other rogues. I would not ever trust rogues, even if you yourself are a rogue, but it is much more likely that rogues will be friendly with you if you are a rogue. That just seems to be the way it is for whatever reason. And some of you guys are commenting in the other videos, I never have people be this friendly with me. There are plenty of people who pretend to be friendly with me and who I just completely avoid and run the other direction, because if someone's crouching at you and then they run immediately towards you, that person is not friendly. Their body language is against you despite them pretending to be friendly. There is body language for someone pretending to be friendly, and there is body language for someone who is actually friendly. And if you learn those both, then you're going to have a much better time at this game. It does just take time, though. Okay, I'm running past this area here because I don't know that there is this area underneath there. You jump in the well there, and there is a ton of big chests underneath there. Now, I'm trying to leave through this portal, but this guy kind of pushes towards me for some reason. I'm going to run back and see if I can get this portal back here instead, where those 2 rogues that I'm kind of truced with are. I still don't trust them, but they haven't shown any hostility towards me or anything, so I'm not too worried. And their body language isn't showing anything like they actually want to push me. 2 throwing knives still doesn't kill that thing, by the way, and I also stab it, and it's still not dead. That is one of those enemies you really want a rapier for, because otherwise it's just really hard to get at them. And I have just a ton of enemies on me, and I'm going to try to run back to the portal now that I have all these enemies dragged over here. But those players are too close, and I don't want to get stabbed by them by chance, so I'm just trying to go around here. This area over here is already opened up, so I'm not going to bother breaking that and waiting for them to hit me in the back of the head. There are 2 players jumping down from the jump up over there. And while I haven't engaged in any PvP this game, this is a lot of problems that I am running into. And I am avoiding PvP at every turn, and this is how Ruins is. This strategy is not easy to do. And once again, the thing that I found helped me the most was learning the areas underneath the map, because I was underneath the map more often. And other players don't know that there are areas underneath the map, and they don't ever go there, despite the areas underneath the map having extremely good loot. Okay, and I get out for the first time, which means I get to sell some items, which means I will have some money, and I can buy some rapiers. However, you do need to wait for rapiers in the shop. I ran 2 more after this with no items, by the way. Did not succeed, and then rapiers were in store. This will hugely impact your success rate. Rapiers are so much better. And it is not random that I got the best spawn again here. I ran another one after I got the rapiers. And you can see here, I'm back with daggers. I died with that rapier, and I just forgot to equip a rapier here. And I got another good spawn again. And so it is very possible to succeed at this with daggers, but it kind of takes some luck, and your success rate is going to go up a lot if you have rapier instead. Honestly, daggers are just so trash compared to rapiers as far as for PvE goes. Your range is just short. I mean, I'm already hurt here, you can see, and that I would have taken much less damage if I could have just been stabbing at these guys from a range. It just makes things a lot easier. But once again, we're here at the Royal Coffin spawn. Once again, you do want to loot Death Skulls because, hey, more throwing knives, maybe a pendant or 2. All of that stuff is something you want to engage with. And I normally kill the pot there before I actually go ahead and loot the Royal Coffin, because what ends up happening is rogues will run across the entire map to come and engage with you on these. And I get a slightly better Rondel Dagger there with like a couple more damage, which is actually a pretty big improvement when you're talking this low DPS. So that's kind of nice. And yeah, so rogues will run across the entire map to come and loot this Royal Coffin, or at least they used to. If you're still doing that as a rogue, by the way, you have brain damage, because the Royal Coffins are something that they nerfed the most in the recent nerf. Don't do that. Like, a gold chest has very similar loot to a Royal Coffin now, and there are gold chests all over the map. It doesn't make sense to make this spot of the map into a hot spot. You're going to die more often when you engage with PvP more often. These ornate chests, always loot these, because look right there, I get a cape out of it. These are like a mini lion's head chest. That is basically how their loot is, just a couple less rolls, but all lion's head loot. You want to loot those. Those are very good. Also, these regular stone coffins that are on the ground are also good loot. They're about equivalent to a regular chest, but there are some areas where there's like 6 or 7 of them, so you can loot so many at once. I don't particularly want to go south here because there is that cockatrice, which are pretty annoying enemies, but hey, a health pot. And I'm thinking maybe I can just run past it. It seems like I didn't aggro it, so no biggie. I'm doing the same thing as last time where I run south. I would play it based off PvP. You have someone on each side of you PvP-wise here, but sometimes they'll go in the other direction and you'll be fine. Okay, they already opened up the lion's head chest over here. I'm going to loot it again, because maybe they left some scraps for me. Okay, +1 strength Barbuda helm. That is not worth picking up. I should not have picked that up. Once again, I would not pick up the fighter helmets other than the Hound Skull. They just aren't very good, and no one really uses them. And what you particularly want with fighter items is plus armor rating on plate armor. They love those items, and they are always happy to buy those items for huge sums. This would not go for anything. That is a waste of time. And this is like a barbarian helm or something. The barbarians want the agility helmet. They don't want this Barbuda helm. They don't want the Germanbu. Those are both pretty just trash. There's not much else to say. And I get a rapier here off the skeletons. I wouldn't even normally loot the skeletons. And also another point I have for you guys here. I honestly should not be wearing this cape, because if I come into contact with the team, they are going to chase me down all the harder. you are better off looking like a pretty default kit rogue than one that looks super kitted. And I'm getting some cold coins off these guys at least, but I don't particularly see these as worth looting. The chest loot is just so good that I honestly see this as a waste of time. And you can see as I get more efficient throughout this video, as you guys will as well. You just get better as you play more, especially as you hone a specific strategy, you'll get much better at that specific strategy. And this room has a gold chest for me. Nice. Okay. We get an ox pendant. That's worth some money. Those are always nice. We get some sellables. That double axe looks like it has half decent rolls. Double axes don't sell for anything. Once again, do not take double axes or any barbarian two-handed weapons, really. I would not pick any of them up. They're not worth picking up unless you're literally about to leave and your inventory is only like a quarter full and you're going to vendor it immediately. In which case, understand that's going to be worth like 14 gold to the vendor. They just take forever to sell, and barbarians, for whatever reason, don't seem to have much gold, or they really already have like their perfect weapon and they bought it for 50 gold somewhere else. And I'm trying to get over the lamps here. You used to be able to do this, but for whatever reason, they made it so that you slide off. Honestly, one of the dumbest changes ever. I don't understand why they keep doing that, because what ends up happening is you have these lamp ones that you can jump over, and they look exactly the same. If you're going to do that, they should be changing the models of those things, because there's no way if I was in like an actual PvP fight, I could have known that beforehand, that I would slide off of that. And it's really just bad for your player base, because they can't understand things they're seeing. Which normally Dark and Darker is a game that I have no issues with this on, because they are very consistent with the hitboxes. And the hitboxes are more consistent than any other game I've seen, really. But with that one area where they're like trying to prevent cheeses, for whatever reason, they're like, let's just make it slidey. I don't understand why they do that. That is really annoying. Okay, if it's like, okay, this torch is super easy to cheese a centaur on or something, why not just remove the torch? I think that would be better than what they're doing here, where it's like making the game more inconsistent and more, oh, you have to play 12,000 runs to learn how things work. That is not good game design. That's just very frustrating for your players. And now this is the big upside of Hide still, is you can get PvE off of you for a moment and get it to de-aggro, which can get it some distance away from you. So Hide does still have some use. I just don't see it as a perk I would like to use for these runs, because there are better ones. And if I hadn't missed that, this would have gone a bit better for me. I see an armet there with +1 strength. Once again, that is a fighter-only helmet. That is not a hound skull. I would not pick that up. It's just really a bad item. And also, this is a big reason why I would recommend playing all of the classes. If you get them all to level 15 and you learn how to kit all of them, you will start to loot better. I have not played much Barbarian, and when I was playing Fighter, unlike a lot of other fighters, I didn't just go for top 1% kits. I would buy like the leftover gear and make 300 gold kits, but other people don't do that. I should have realized, though, if I'm putting those kits together for 300 gold and they come out really well, no one wants those items, so what am I doing? It doesn't matter if they're playing bad, they're not going to buy the item. Okay, I take the health shrine here and I leave because I know it's going to take that guy 4 hits to break that, and I am running. I should have smoke potted right there, by the way. It would have made it harder for them to shoot an arrow at me, and it would have slowed them down while running after me, which would have been helpful. Caltrops right there would be very beneficial as well. I could have ran to the little wood barricaded up thing, dropped some caltrops there, and then if they ran in after me, they would have been slowed by 50% for a few seconds. They're never going to be able to catch you if they're slowed by 50% for a few seconds. That's enough time to actually get away. And it's super useful. And honestly, when I start using caltrops later, my main sin with using them is that I'm not using them often enough. Okay, and we get this door here. And with the rapier, it is way, way easier to kill these guys. You can actually kill these guys without aggroing a single attack from them. I, however, do not do that here. I'm not that good with the rapier. However, I have played like Bard and stuff. I should be a little better with it than I am, but honestly, for PvP and stuff, I usually play Wizard. But I do love doing these sort of runs for earning money. Also, you can see in my inventory here, I have a lot of higher tier, like, bangles and stuff. That seems to be the thing they've nerfed the most with the loot changes. And yes, I know I'm still messing up the pick clocks. I'm not particularly good here at the beginning. +1 all attribute rawhide gloves. That's not too bad. And then also a good necklace here. I'm trying to figure out what to drop. There's so much good stuff, it's kind of hard to tell. Okay, green rapier. Let's pick that up. And let's drop this gray rapier as well. That's not really worth taking. I should drop the armlet here and pick up the gold bowl. Okay, good. Or I could have dropped the double axe. Both those items are pretty worthless. And I skipped ahead here because there's players walking past and I just hid in the corner for literally like a minute or a minute and a half or something. And you can hear them walk through and close the door behind them. There's also a portal over there they're going through. And because that's a very loud noise, I'm using it to my advantage and walking past. There might still be a teammate. And I heard one spawn over this direction. You can also memorize the portal spawns on ruins. I only have them memorized on crypts though, so I am not the best player ever at this. But once you learn the portal spawns, you'll also up the rate of you getting out very often because you'll hear a direction of a portal and you'll know what spawn it's at. I actually did know this portal spawn. This is one of the few ones I knew, and I ran over to it immediately. And there is no guide for those or anything like that. You literally just have to play the game more. Someone will probably make a guide on it in the future, but that guide would be super hard to make. I miss a bangle here. Okay, we get like 400 gold. I'm watching this back in like a small video editor play screen, by the way, so I might not say the gold amount 100% correctly. So if I'm off on that, that's my bad. I can't see it 100% properly. And here I've got some health pots and all sorts of other nice things and nice gear pieces. Take off the nice gear pieces after every round. You want those extra slots open so you can pick up good items if you find good items and wear them. That is extra inventory space. Also, I'm unequipping the elite skeleton skin there. I would never wear the skeleton skin in-game normally. I normally put it on when I'm taking a thumbnail shot because it just looks good for the game and is very recognizable. But the skin stats are horrible. The minus armor rating is just generally not useful and not something I would recommend. It's just plain bad, and especially when you're talking a no-kit rogue, do not wear the skeleton skin. That is significant armor rating that you are losing, and when you're at the lower end of the bell curve, that is going to hit you even harder. So be very careful of that. I would actually recommend if you have the stones to buy the orc skin. Orc skin is generally just better. For these runs, though, elf skin might be better because it's a little bit of extra agility, and I believe it's minus strength. And speed is really what you're focusing on for these. I honestly wish they would remove the stats from the skins. I think that's really dumb, even though it's like a super small stat amount that they change. It's literally +1, -1, another one. And I mega fail on that pick lock there. I think I had just completely brained off to the fact that this was a locked one. +1 all attributes, leather cap. That's worth some money. And I can wear it, and it's +1 all attributes. And not too shabby. Okay, looting the chest here. Regular chests still have pretty darn good loot. That is a +1 all attributes feathered hat there that I am not grabbing. Bard gear still does not sell for anything. In my opinion, Bard is still the strongest character even after the recent nerfs. You guys might not think that if you haven't played much High Roller Crypts because you haven't gotten to see his true power level, but it's kind of absurd just how strong Bard gets, and that's not just because he's in the back buffing up some barbarian. He does that as well as being a fairly good mid-line class because he has crossbow access and can do like 150 damage in a crossbow shot with a good kit. And he has those buffs, and he's huge utility to his team. And he can attack super quickly with his melee and kill someone super quick. And he's also just the fastest character in the game. Speed is always going to be really good in this game. And because he's so fast, that means he can avoid enemies really easily. He can flank really easily. I don't understand why he's just like a better rogue right now. And even worse than that, in High Roller, it is plagued by people who are doing the strategy of throwing drums at your forehead. You might think that's a meme strategy. It's not. Throwing drums with the plus 50% damage on drum perk is so darn good, it's ridiculous. And they can throw them so fast, too. That is a little bit more of a kitted thing to do, though, so I wouldn't imagine you're seeing that much in regular crypts, but in high roller crypts, it's everywhere. And so you'll have a boosted up barbarian running at you, and then drums getting thrown at your forehead from across the room. I have a couple people chasing me here, just like I did that other time. It's almost an exact repeat. This time, I'm running into the zone. Most people are afraid of the zone. I have no fear of the zone. I'm not afraid of it. I am a real rat player, and I will run straight into the zone. And that doesn't mean I want to be in the zone, but if the zone will ward off my enemies for me, go for it. We'll run through the zone. Honestly, I should have just kept running south here and ran through the zone a bit more and gotten into the zone on the south end. But I was kind of worried about there being other players there. Also, when you run through those spider webs, make certain you attack them, because otherwise your action speed gets significantly lowered. You don't want to walk through them, you want to attack through them. Okay, and the skeleton archer breaks that for me. I'm kind of just running in circles here so I don't get beat up by the archers. And here come the players again. Run back in a circle. And that's a skeleton mage on me. That'll do a lot of damage. This is nasty. This whole room is cursed. It has 4 skeleton archers and a skeleton mage. This room is horrible if you don't have ranged attacks. And you're usually going to get hit here. I get hit with 1 arrow because I'm jumping on top there. I should have stayed on the ground so I could actually move left and right. I run right through here. Get me out of here ASAP. I want to go in that room before with the picklock door with the golden chest. That's a pretty good room. Also, if you have a pickaxe, the room with the giant worm and all that stuff is very good. There was a rogue sitting on top of the health shrine there. I believe he went invis or perked rupture or something like that. I saw him there for a moment. You can run along the wall there and not hop down. That is what I would recommend you do, especially with double jump. It's pretty easy. Potion of protection there. That flat chest there also has like a 10% chance to be a lion's head chest at the bottom. So that can be fairly good loot. And I'm basically just trying to get away from players at this point. Run, run! I'm kind of going over to the area over here that has the other royal coffin. They were pretty good at this time. This is before the loot nerf still, by the way. And it looks like everything around here is looted. I'm just looking for scraps from the royal coffin if they left anything behind. Nothing. They took everything. That's what I'd recommend you do. That's generally pretty smart. What I should do now, if I had known this, is jump down the well in the middle here of this room. And I don't believe I know that at this time. And I'm looking on my map and I'm seeing in the corner over here, which is actually a player spawn point, that there should be a golden chest here. No, that is down beneath this area in the well. There's a giant maze beneath the well over here. And at the end of every maze corridor that is a dead end, there is a chance for a lion's head chest. There's at least going to be a flat chest on each of those. And there's one that is guaranteed to be a lion's head chest or a gold chest. It is an incredibly good area to loot. Would highly recommend. I just didn't know about it at the time, and you'll see me use it later. Also, mimics are not worth looting now. Mimics used to have better loot than the regular chests. Now they have worse loot than the regular chests. I wouldn't even recommend opening them afterwards. I did get a mimic tooth out of there, but I end up just vendoring it immediately. I don't find the crafting supply items worth it to sell unless it's one of the really rare ones like void matter from the Lich, or if it's a centaur tail, I believe they're called, from the centaurs in Inferno. Wolf pelts are also worth selling. They're pretty rare. Or any of the other boss item ones are worth selling as well. Opening up this flat chest here. Honestly, probably not worthwhile. Flat chests are pretty good, but not worth it. And I am considering the well here. Okay, I don't know the well very well at this point then, and I'm just looking through here. I'm looking at my map on the other screen. That's why I'm kind of moving funny. I thought that wisp was alive. It died to the spike trap. It spawns down there. It dies to the spike trap. And this is the guaranteed lion's head chest spawn or gold chest spawn. Really good one right there. And at this time, I don't believe I knew that all the other corridors had flat chests. They would have been very worthwhile to loot. I should have killed that skeleton first, by the way, rather than getting cornered by it. Okay, we got a heater shield there that would sell for like 50 gold. It's got plus max health, so it's not too shabby. Plus armor rating is what you want on a heater shield. If it has plus armor rating, it will sell to a lot for some fighter. Because when you hold a shield out, that armor rating does actually apply to your whole body. So that is huge. I didn't used to know that. I thought it was just, okay, this shield has so-and-so armor rating. Maybe like something to do with how barbarians can hit through certain shields with certain weapons. Nope, that armor rating just actually applies to your body, even if they don't hit the shield. And so shields are really good, especially heater shields, because they have the right blocking areas. Those are really good, and you want the plus armor rating ones. Okay, we're running back around. I'm trying to find those escape portals now. I'm pretty content with the loot I've got. And at this point, I really should be buying a pickaxe and bringing it in every time, but I'm not. Also, notable for you guys, because mining becomes such a huge part of this method to earn money, the higher tier pickaxes now do actually do things. That is something they added in the last hot fix. You want higher tier pickaxes, if possible. Generally, people don't sell them in the utility chat or anything like that, but if you find one, use it. They're very worthwhile to use. They do mine faster. Okay, selling some more stuff here. I wish they would add a sell all button for all the collectibles. That would be really nice if they would do that. It would save a lot of time and make the game more enjoyable. And if you're wondering why I'm just throwing all that stuff in my stash, it's because I'm not a high enough level yet to go ahead and trade those items off. This becomes a massive issue for me later. Also, I just cut ahead here to where I bought gold purses and filled them up because my stash is getting too full. I'm level 10 now. I'm debating between Jokester and Poisoned Weapon. I go with Poisoned Weapon. Let me know what you guys think of Jokester or Poisoned Weapon is better. Honestly, just needed a little bit more damage, though. Also, if you're seeing me ever take a while after I spawn in to start moving, that's not me being like alt-tab to another screen or anything. That's me looking at my other monitor and seeing I have that interactive map up on my other monitor and seeing exactly where I am and where the closest golden chests are to me. Because, once again, I just don't know the map very well at this point. I get the hit here. I shouldn't have gotten hit by that Zweihander skeleton just a moment ago. I should have avoided it. This corner area right here has a skeleton guardian or a skeleton mage in the second floor, and it actually has some pretty good loot. It has a chance at a golden chest or not. On the floor below it, there is an area behind some wood that has a chance of being a lion's head chest. I believe it's about a 10% chance, and the other time it's a flathead chest. This one is gold or lion's head, though. This one's pretty good once you get past the wood over here. What I should do here, because it's a skeleton mage, is aggro the skeleton mage and have it hit the skeleton melee dudes that are chasing me. That is the best way to kill them here. I do not do that. I think that's because I was afraid of the archers there. The archers end up getting hit by their own teammate, though. And that dagger, I glanced over it real quick. That dagger is god rolls. Absolute god rolls. It's +2 strength, plus armor pen, and plus weapon damage, I believe. And I missed my jump over there, which was mega fail and get hit in the face. But luckily, it kills a lot of the other skeletons over there, so that's cool. And at this point, I kind of want to clear the skeletons out and loot the rest of this room. So I'm thinking, okay, how can I clear the rest of this out? Also, I have swapped hide for rupture here. I do not see smoke pot as better than hide, by the way. Smoke pot is pretty trash. Unless you're in crypts, it's just not very good for ruins because the map is way more open. It's way better in ruins. I should say it's way better in crypts. I don't know what I'm saying there. And you just need to step a moment away and go left or right here when you're attacking these guys, and then hit them once in the head after one shot, or you can hit them twice in the head if it is a double shot. Keep in mind that nightmare skeletons, the nightmare archers, can do a triple shot attack. They have that as well. Skeleton mage doesn't have anything good. They used to be really worth looting, but nowadays, with chests being as good as they are, I don't see them as worthwhile to loot. Also, I really don't see the lion's head potential at the bottom here as worthwhile to loot either, because there is an archer skeleton that spawns down here. I just don't see it as worthwhile to kill it. It just doesn't seem worth the time. There are dire wolves over here. I would recommend that you cheese dire wolves if possible, because they have a chance to drop their wolf pelt. That wolf pelt is actually worth quite a bit of gold. Probably not worth more than how much you'd get by farming the actual gold nuggets. So it's not worth more than that, but oftentimes they're in the way anyways, so it can be quite nice to have them dead. Okay, this is a picklock chest here, and it throws me off there, and I get back on top. Those are pretty trash wizard shoes. Wizard shoes with rolls regarding like weapon damage and stuff, by the way, aren't worth anything anymore. They used to be good with an ignite build. Ignite is not a thing anymore. No one does ignite build. Ignite is almost purely used on teammates. Wizard is more of a support class now than a hard damage class, and that's just how it is lately. It's still very good for damage, and I actually do end up getting a wolf pelt here. This is the only wolf pelt I get in this video, and it ends up selling for 300 gold later. So, hey, that's kind of nice. I think they're pretty rare, though. And the reason why wolf pelts are worth so much is because they're used for crafting so many good items. There's those, like, wolf pants they craft that have extra strength on them that are like heavy leather leggings, but with extra strength. And they're also used for creating the 500 gold pouch, but so is a troll pelt. And troll pelts are going for like 10,000 gold or something insane, so they're kind of a minority of the cost there for creating a 500 gold pouch. Honestly, they should probably make a 5,000 gold pouch or a 10,000 gold pouch and use the troll pelt for that. And then these wolf pelts should be used for making the 500 gold pouches. And I'm trying to put the Castilian dagger on there. Normally I wouldn't do that, but I am doing that with this setup because the extra stats it gives me are very, very good. And those stats do apply to the other weapon that you're using. That is a thing. It's just as long as you're holding it, those stats get applied. So this is a really good item that I found there. That is a God Roll Castilian dagger. And yeah, very worth picking up. I would not pick up Bardishas ever, by the way. Even God Roll Bardishas, I've had trouble selling for even 150 gold. They're not worth the inventory slots, and 150 gold would basically be the minimum that it would have to sell for to be worthwhile. Bardishas are just not good weapons, and so people don't use them. There is a good tent here that has a gold chest in it. These skeletons, some of them are archers, some of them are just melee guys. You drag them back here and you corner trap them and you just stab them in the head. Rupture is very nice for this, by the way. The extra DPS helps a lot. By the way, the armor pen active perk does not work on PvE unless that PvE has actual armor on it. It takes a percentage off of it. It's not like Shriek of Weakness. Shriek of Weakness can make their armor go into the negatives. And I hear players coming after me here. I am going to do my old famous trick of running into the zone because all of these pansies are afraid of the zone. I am not afraid of the zone. Get screwed. And usually the best way to deter someone from attacking you is any mutual destruction technique. So running them into another team, that's mutual destruction. Everyone's going to be one player down at least by the end of a huge team fight like that. Another option if you're in the Inferno is running them into, say, demon dogs or demon centaurs or anything like that. I'm checking if this room is open, by the way. It is. I'll recheck the gold chest here. Not anything good in it, but they left gold coins, so I'm taking those. Why not? Back to the mutual destruction point, though. Running them into demon dogs. Most people see running into the zone as mutual destruction. The zone does more damage as you're later into the game. The early zones do basically no damage. It's not a big deal. And actually, in the latest hotfix, they do not deal any damage to, like, your red health anymore. So your darker red health that's there, that does not get damaged anymore. So you retain 100% of it while going through the zone, so you can rest it all back up. By the way, we heard the Ruins Golem die beneath us there, so we know there are players down there that we don't particularly want to fight that probably have pretty good DPS, although it is later in the game. It looks like there's a portal over here. I kind of want to steal it. It's already opened. Trying to see if I can jump over this. Not a thing anymore since they've nerfed the double jump height. And they steal the portal because they see I'm trying to come over there and yoink it. Okay, we check the royal coffin and find a gold chalice exquisite. A lot of people leave a lot of items behind in those higher tier chests that are very worthwhile to take. And trying to check for friendliness here. I don't particularly want to go after those guys. I'm demonstrating actual friendliness here by going the opposite direction of them. And you can jump on these statues, apparently. These coffins have good loot, so I guess I'll loot those. I'm not on a full inventory yet. Barbuda helm, and honestly, I shouldn't be taking that. I don't know what I'm going for. Don't end up taking it. That's good. Even with good rolls, Barbuda helms don't sell for jack. They're not worth taking. I honestly wish Iron Mace would do a little more towards balancing items like that out. Like, if no one wants to buy any of those items, even when they have really good rolls, that's because the white lines on the other items that are available for that class are too much better. So maybe it's because they don't have a white line item at all, and maybe they need one. Maybe it's because there just really is no purpose to that one. Maybe it has too much minus move speed. But those items need to be rebalanced if they want to see actual use. And it would be helpful if Iron Mace would make all of the items have an actual use there. Okay. We're running through and just trying to find a portal. The courtyard here has a lot of portal spawns, so I'm kind of waiting for that. And it seems one is spawning over that-a-way now, that you guys just heard it in. More towards the graveyard where I was at before. And I want to run back in there and get in it. That is a player right there who has Timmy for brains. This guy is also a player with Timmy for brains. Honestly, I should have stabbed that guy in the back of the head rather than trying to escape. These guys are very new players. I think those are the same guys I saw over here in the well section earlier. I think I can jump on this torch and get over. Yep, so I just jump over here. And it seems this guy is trying to leave when his teammate has already left. And I'm realizing that this guy is Major Timmy, and I would beat the crap out of this guy, so I am going to chase him down, even though I'm not in a PvP setup. And I stab him in the back. Let's go ahead and take whatever loot he had. He didn't have any loot. This is the end of the game. Where's your loot, buddy? Pick some items up. I dropped the Gold Crown Exquisite there for this Cobalt Ore. Honestly, don't do that. Cobalt Ore is not worth very much, and it's probably worth more than what I just dropped if I traded away. But I would much rather the instant sell items. There's a little rogue here. I would also beat this guy up. He's in the skeleton one, and he has no armor on. Do not wear the skeleton one with no armor. You have extreme negative physical damage reduction. I will do very high damage to you. That is very foolish. Okay, I'm selling all of these items here. We're making some good money. Like 300-ish gold. And I put all of my gold in gold pouches here because it was taking up too much space. Okay, a little bit of rubber banding right there. I was alt-tabbing to change something with the map so I could see different things. And over here, I'm just going to stab this guy. By the way, this is the changing point where we are after the update now, and where the loot is going to be a little bit worse. Honestly, it's not that much worse. The Royal Coffins seem to be the thing that was nerfed the most. But those were honestly OP before. Gold chests and Lionhead chests just seem to have maybe one less gold spawn in them, and that's really it. So you still make quite a bit of money from these runs. And also, I have one of the best spawns here. Honestly, I would say this is more of the best spawn than that far northeast spawn is that has a royal coffin, because there's all these regular coffins here. And there's a gold ore spawn to the south. Now, if you have a pickaxe, I would actually recommend that you run to the south and go get the gold ore rather than loot this royal coffin. This royal coffin is nothing compared to that gold ore. Do you know how much a gold ingot is going for right now? It's about 800 right now. And the other day, they were going for 1,200 gold. They have been incredibly price unstable. They have shifted from 1,200 to 500, now back to 800. I don't know what's happening there, but even at 500 gold, you're talking a vein of ore is either 200 or 300 gold. That is so quick as a moneymaker, and there's a couple ore veins over there. So mining the gold becomes incredibly important. And I do have a pickaxe now. I started buying pickaxes because I was like, okay, the loot's going to be worse, so it's more worthwhile to mine now. It was worthwhile to mine before. I just didn't know that. And you guys are going to get my learning for free as you watch this, and I'll explain my thinking process to you guys. Lightfoot boots with +1 additional physical damage. Those are pretty cool. By the way, if you guys are enjoying this video, make certain to subscribe. That would really help me out a lot. YouTube likes to look for metrics to see that you guys are actually enjoying the video. And I think subscribing is probably the biggest metric they take into account there. And then plus, if you like these videos, you're going to get them in your feed more often after you subscribe. And so, hey, more good videos in your feed. And let me know if you guys like these longer form videos. And this time, I learned from last time, I'm killing the skeleton and not getting trapped in the corner. Let's go loot this lion's head chest. Totally worth running into the zone for. Okay, look at how many blue items we're getting still. I should drop these Lightfoot boots here. Those are some trash tier ones. Spears can sell because rangers like to use them. You do still have to sell them in the fighter chat, but it's mostly rangers using them. Healing up there, and I'm going to go check over here to see if I can loot this flathead chest. I can, without even going in the zone. I would not say it's worthwhile to go into the zone for a flathead chest. I would not use my health on that. And it ends up being a mimic of all things. I should not be sitting here and waiting to loot this, because look at how trash that mimic loot is. They did not buff the mimic loot. Honestly, I would wish they would buff the mimic loot now because, you know, just put them on par with the other chests. Because now it's like, oh, I got a chest stolen from me just by an RNG chance from the game. +1 all attributes wizard boots. Those are actually kind of nice. Honestly, wouldn't take them, though, because I keep trying to pick those up with +1 all attributes, and no one buys them. I don't know why no one buys them. I don't think wizard players understand that plus will, which is part of plus all attributes, makes it so that they do more damage. They just want plus damage on everything. And I know it's a percentage with plus will, but it also makes your magic missiles come out faster, so you'll shoot like a machine gun rather than like a semi-automatic pistol sort of deal. And it makes your knowledge higher and your resourcefulness. I just don't see why they're not buying plus all attributes items. I buy plus all attributes items when I'm playing Wizard. Not worth it to kill the mimic there. Not worth it because it's not going to drop me any loot. Okay, running past the skeleton here. And you just want to sidestep back and forth to avoid the skeletons. You can't exactly do it at point blank range. I know sometimes they will miss, but keep that in mind. Also, as far as I understand, the skeleton archers, their first shot in their double shot aims at your head. The second shot aims at your chest. So don't duck into the second shot. You will get headshot instead. I'm checking to see if they've taken all the gold ore veins over here, because I don't trust these people to know all the gold ore vein spots. And they missed one. Pathetic. Let's go ahead and mine this. You come here with a pickaxe and everything. You don't know all the gold ore spots or you don't have a map up. Also just skipping ahead here because mining takes like 30 seconds. I believe I got 3 gold ore from that vein, so that's plus 300 gold. They're actually running for 800 gold right now, so that's like 150 gold for each ore. 450 gold we're talking. That is a ton of gold from just mining that little thing. And there can be as many as 4 gold ore veins down there. So you could come out of there with 10 gold ore consistently. It is possible if the RNG is on your side. And there's other gold ore spots on this map, but that's one of the best spots. It's usually uncontested later into the game, so sometimes I'll even run into the zone to go grab it if I have extra meds. Because you earn so much money doing this, it might be worthwhile to buy surgery kits or campfires and go into the zone and mine those more often than even I do. It is very possible that I am not doing this at 100% efficiency even by the end of the video. Dire wolves, we're going to kill them, and the kiting method for these, by the way, is the exact same as the demon dogs. You just step back and go left and right. Do not do it right up next to their head. Some people will say, oh, that works just fine. It might work if you're on a faster class like Bard with extra speed on it, or a faster class like Rogue. I don't like kiting methods that only work on faster classes. Those are usually not good to get used to using. I drop the Lightfoot boots there and take the riveted gloves instead, because those are +2 strength with a green one, which is pretty nice. +2 strength, a lot of extra health, a lot of extra damage. Okay, there is a secret area down here in this room that has a skeleton mage guarding a high-tier chest, and then there's another high-tier chest in a secret area within the secret area. And of course, you want to get the skeleton mage to blow itself up. It's not worth it to go in and really attack it yourself. Watch out for spiders at the same time. And I don't think it's really hitting itself here, so I'm just going to stab it. And it is dead. We want to kill the spider pot here. And I miss a couple attacks on a stationary object, which is pretty funny. This chest right here can be a lion's head, or I believe also a gold chest very rarely, but it is just a big chest this time. +1 weapon damage boots, those are old shoes. Those would actually go for like 50 gold, but no more than that. And this lever right here opens up the lion's head chest room. I believe this one can also be a gold chest, although I haven't seen it yet. And keep in mind, your equip spots are spots where you can hold items oftentimes. If there's a really good item and you're not kitted, you can put those items on if you don't have space for them. That's why I recommend you run in here with no items on. You're going to be better off. Also, those fire spots there are really quick. You gotta be really quick to get through those without getting hit. It is not like a lot of the other fire spots. When you just walk up those stairs to leave, that is the only exit, so you can get camped. There are people to my south. Everyone wants to be in the bridge area, but no one wants to be on the outskirts of the map actually looting all the good items. Oil lantern is cool. That's something I could throw at the very least, and because it goes in my pocket slot, I can sell it. Player on me. I wasn't even noticing him there, despite his footsteps being very loud. And this is an axe guy, which is super annoying because it means he can hit me on top of the shrine. Honestly, the axe guys are just way stronger than all the other melee skeletons. Just so much stronger. The Zweihander ones are pretty easy. The regular sword ones are pretty easy. The sword and shield ones are pretty easy. The axe ones, though, they just have such range, and they can get into so much trouble when you're already in a PvP engagement. And that was a PvP engagement right there. That guy wanted to kill me. I'm trying to find a way around this guy without getting killed, and without getting killed by this PvE. I kind of thought there would be like a jump up there. There is not. I still don't know the ruins map that well. And the more you play it, the better you're going to get to know it. That goes for every map. And playing a map solo is when you actually learn it the best. And I do have the caltrops on now, so I go ahead and caltrop the door. Their movement speed will get reduced by 50%, and they will get hurt if they walk through that. These guys have severe brain damage, though, so they're going to do that and trying to crossbow hit me. And they're going to keep missing because they don't know how to play the game. And they can't even kill a solo rogue on quarter health because, haha, skill issue. I'm going to run away here. I'm kind of just pretending to run away because I want to run back there and get that portal. There really is no other option for me here. And I'm kind of just hoping they take the portals to the north. They might be, they might not be. Okay, there we go. They have left. Let's get through here. I need to go ASAP because otherwise this zone will kill me. Seems like they cleared out the archer skeleton, which is good. I'm about to die instantaneously from the zone. It would have been about 10 seconds before instant death. Okay, we go ahead and sell this stuff and get a little over 300 gold. And then also that gold ore there. So that one, you're talking like 800, 850 gold. Hey, that's pretty good. Works for me. Okay, sold the lantern as well, made some money there. Lanterns are great because you can put them in that weapon slot. It can be your secondary weapon slot, and you get 15 gold for them, or 10 gold for them, or whatever rarity worth of gold for them. And I get a bit of a weird spawn here. I get the middle spawn. This is actually my favorite spawn in the entire Ruins map. This spawn is super good because there's just so much gold ore next to you. And despite people bum rushing it, if you get this spawn, you can be done mining before they get here because there's a lot of PvE guarding this area, unlike the far northwest spot where there's barely any PvE guarding it. And I believe there's up to 3 gold ore spawns in here, just in the corners of the room. There's 2 over there in that skull area where I mined 1. And I get a frost amulet here. True physical damage 1 + 1 all attributes. That's actually worth some money. That's pretty good. +2 knowledge lantern. That's trash, because that's just not useful to anyone that needs knowledge. So I'm just going to sell that to the store. But hey, might as well take it and put it in the second slot. It's worth some gold. And we get Old Worm. I'm just trying to loot this golden chest here. I was honestly thinking I could get away with it. If I hit the red spot, I could, but I do end up getting hit by it. And now I'm like, do I really want to fight this? You can just leave, by the way. Also, a really fun strategy I've been trying to perfect is you can send the mini-boss up on the platform when someone is trying to attack you. You can get them on the platform and then just send it up, and then the mini-boss will be up top, either the golem or the worm. And then they have to deal with it, and you can go up the other platform and leave. This thing's honestly pretty quick to kill, though, and old rusty keys are still worth quite a bit for who knows what reason. And I'm just smacking this thing here over and over. Smack, smack, smack. You just want to headshot it repeatedly. And this guy's coming down, and this guy was trying to punch me. I didn't even notice. I thought he was swinging at me there. But this guy is, like, either trying to punch me to death or being friendly or something here. And I'm thinking, I'll come up behind him. This guy has no idea what he's doing, right? He's invis right here. Now he's doing hands up sign. I don't know if he was actually trying to be friendly there or if he was, like, forced into friendliness. And honestly, I don't really care. He's dead now. Not my problem. I don't know why you would try to be friendly with a solo rogue. I am out to get you. And it is possible to get 3 attacks in on each cycle here if you do it right. And it's dead. Now I get to loot this golden chest. Okay. Not half bad leggings. Honestly, their rolls are pretty crap, but they're purple leggings at least. And let's go ahead and see this. A feathered hat that's gray. Wow. Just wow. And this guy is pretty much nothing for me. Is some extra throwing knives that he spawned with, which are kind of nice. Throwing knives are really good at getting away from enemies. Everyone complains about how arrows slow. Throwing knives also slow. Every attack in this game that is physical slows, and if you hit someone with it, it can be very helpful. And so that's why I'd recommend you have throwing knives. This corner over here as well by the gold chest, I think has a chance to spawn some gold ore. And that room that's in the little hidey cubby over there, you can jump up there. There's a little shelf with double jump, and you can hide there. And that spot is super good. And unless someone has watched this point in the video where it's like an hour in, which I don't think most people will, but you guys definitely have, you're not going to know this spot. And I go up here and I rest, and someone else tries to come down. I am not going to stand up here because that would give my position away, and no one is going to find me here. This is a big thing with newer players to ratting, is they always want to run away. The biggest defense you have is making no noise for long periods of time. Now, if I had been stood up there already, if I hadn't been trying to get my health back, I could have jumped that guy and hit him in the head with a rupture from above and messed him up badly. But that just wasn't the situation, and I'm better off not fighting him in that situation there. He saw that everything was looted. He just left. That's generally what they do. And if people are trying to just wait until you kill the mini-boss, kill the mini-boss and then hide in that spot immediately. And you will be fine. They won't ever find you. They're going to try and attack every corner. They're going to have no idea that you're there. Just make no noise. You're good. Or you could jump them from there if you feel pretty confident fighting a 1v2, or if it's just another solo player, mess them up. Okay, and you're seeing a pretty big skill difference from me here in terms of how I run around the map now. That is because I watched a video that showed all the secret spots in ruins. I'm going to link it on the screen right now if I remember to while in editing. And that video was hugely helpful to me. Would highly recommend. Big shout outs to the YouTuber that did that one. His name should be up on the screen with this. And that video was just hugely helpful. And I'll leave a link in the description, so after you guys finish this one, you can go ahead and go over there and watch that if you decide you want to try this method out for yourself. And here we have got a large reinforced chest. These are pretty good, actually. They drop mostly gear items. I get +1 weapon damage boots. Nice. And those other boots I had before, the nice Lightfoot boots from before, I had just put those away in my stash. That's what I always do in case I find more good items like this. By the way, I pick up that halberd because, okay, it's a pretty nice halberd, right? Got some max health on it, not too shabby. I should not be picking that up. Halberds do not sell for anything. Drop that thing. That is not worth the space. I could get one, low-tier scroll item and replace it with that, and it would be worth more, and it would take up less space. Couple bangles that are the lowest tier would be worth more for the space. And I've got plenty of good items to fill up the space at this point. It's just not worth taking. There's a little hidden spot back here that spawned an ornate chest for me this time. And you might think that you as a rogue can't get over there. That's not true. I'm showing you the best tactic to break barrels as a rogue right now. Hit it with a pickaxe. Takes 4 hits, but it works. I've seen a lot of people complain that rogue can't break those things. They absolutely can. It is possible. They just can't do it with a default kit, which is kind of annoying. I should not be taking the Barbuda helm there either. Throw the halberd away, throw the Barbuda helm away. Heavy leather leggings are fine, but those other 2 items, drop them. Waste of space. And I'm kind of waiting for these other players to just leave me alone here. They are coming into this area because they are searching for a portal. I know there's no portal here. They don't know that, however. Also, those heavy leather leggings are kind of trash, too. If I remember correctly, I saw those later for like 50 gold. Should drop those as well, honestly. I'd be better off just filling up with treasure. Okay, and we go into the spider area over here. That back room has a chance to spawn a gold chest, which you guys have already seen now at this point. Jump up on this lever here so the spiders don't thwack you while you're doing it. What I should be doing is dropping the halberd here and then picking up all of those nice items off the ground. Those little treasures. And it's just a lion's head chest. I'm like, actually, I don't want the smoke from all these enemies. And this guy already died down here to the mobs. I try and pick up that diamond. If I had dropped the halberd earlier, I could do that. And there's actually a portal for me right here. I step on top of it so these spiders can't bite my toes. And I go ahead and open up the portal. And the spiders prevent me from going in the portal there for a moment, but we're good. End up making like 200 gold from that if you include the loose gold. I would have made a lot more if I just wouldn't have carried the halberd and those other crappy items. I end up selling the halberd because I noticed my stash is very full. Shouldn't have grabbed that. And always buy your 6 gold health pots when you can. I check it every 30 minutes. That's how often they restock, every 30 minutes. And just go ahead and fill your stash up with those. I never buy the 18 gold ones because I don't see them as worthwhile for these rat ones. And if I want nicer health pots, then I go to the trade chat and I buy nicer health pots from people. Ones that are even nicer than white health pots. Also, there's things that I consider as large upgrades, like surgery kits and things like that, that you can also buy from the trade chat. Those 18 gold health pots just generally aren't worth it. Okay, so here, the skeleton aggro range is infinite vertically, so never expect their aggro range to not hit you because you're far up above or below them. You'll hit them still. And these dogs are also aggroed on me, these dire wolves, and we're just going to kill them. You want to headshot them as often as possible. If you can't, though, you can't. That's just how it goes. These Wayhander skeletons are pretty easy to deal with a rapier. You've got some attack range. And I get hit there because my line was not at an angle enough away from him. That's because I was trying to run past the torch. Sad, but luckily I have a health pot, so I can get some health back. Okay, there's 3 skeletons that spawn in here. This is that room I was talking about that's super good, that has the gold ore spawns. This room will make you rich. Also, full disclosure, this method will likely get more difficult after this video is released. That's just the way it is. If you're thinking about trying it after this video, then I assure you someone else is as well, which means you're more likely to run into people who are going to be problems to you. That's just how this game works. We got 1 gold ore spawn over there. And I believe I have a pickaxe this time, right? Yeah, I've got a pickaxe on. And so let's go ahead. Let's heal up a little bit first. I'm just being wary in case someone comes to attack me while I'm mining, which I haven't ever had happen here, by the way. Gold ore I always seem to get for free in this corner because people just don't know it's there or something. Interactive maps, people, they're helpful. Okay, and then we have these tiny chests over here. +8 armor rating heavy boots. Heavy boots are fairly good for damage reduction setups, and a barbarian could use those. But really the only barbarians that worry about physical damage reduction are like the super top end ones that are putting together like -60% magical damage reduction setups as well. There's another player coming towards me. It seemed like they were pushing me. I am running away ASAP. You do not want to have rupture on while you are running away. Ideally here I should probably punch a wall or something like that because it makes you glow purple on your hands. It makes you very easy to see in the darkness. Watch out for rupture. Also, I'd recommend, hey, take potions off your hotbar if you're trying to hide, because those show in the darkness very easily. Darkness is your friend as a rogue. You'd want to hide in the darkness. Darkness is your friend as a rat. It works on any character. You don't need invisibility because no one can see you in the darkness in this game anyways. There is actual pitch black portions in this game. Okay, closing that door behind me because I was a little bit wary due to that area already being opened up, but this not being opened. And I'm showing you guys here that you can just sit up here and basically cheese the skeleton. Your quickest way to kill him with a rapier is quick left click over and over rather than going through the attack animations. Falchion, spellbook, we get a nice scroll there actually. Those sell for a decent penny. So that's kind of nice. They don't sell for as much as a whole bunch of green one-slotters would, but a green scroll, generally worth taking. And that chest wasn't the best ever because it's just a lion's head chest. It's not a gold chest. Gold chests have very good loot, and they mostly both spawn in the same area. Lion's heads are still very worth looting. But man, when you compare it to how much money you make from mining that gold ore, these chests are basically a waste of time. Also though, if you're just rushing to the gold ore spots every game, you are going to die most games because there will be other players contesting you. That's why it's kind of nice to have the chests, because if you get rejected on being able to get gold ore, like if there's someone there area denying you or something, then you can go ahead and just go after gold chests instead and still make huge money. I do wonder if after the wipe with the gold in chest changes, if those gold bars are still going to sell for as much. We get a rapier with actually pretty good rolls. We get a frost amulet with half decent rolls. And yeah, pretty good chest. I also want this flanged mace. It's a blue one. And so I'm like, oh yeah, that'll sell for something, right? It's got a couple agility as well. I end up selling it later for 50 gold. Cleric items don't sell for much, despite Cleric being an incredibly, incredibly good class. And that's just because most people don't want to play Cleric, so there's an overabundance of loot. And really huge benefit to you if you play the classes that people don't want to play and who are still very good, because you can get gear items for cheap, and you can go ahead and loot a bunch still because your character is very strong. You will get strong so quick if you play a character like Bard with a good team. Because you can get a whole good gear set for like 500 gold. And you'll be making like 500 or 1,000 gold per game if you're actually pretty good. That chest was pretty terrible back there. I'm kind of just figuring out where I want to go because I've already looted all the good areas around that are within the zone. And at this point, really what I need to do is just find a portal and get out. I don't really want to stay much longer. I've got a full inventory of loot. I've got some gold ore. Like, we're in a pretty good spot. Those Lightfoot boots aren't bad. Plus, armor rating is fairly decent on any character. Those would probably go for 50 gold, but I don't see that as worthwhile to drop my treasures for. Also, keep in mind, selling an item for 50 gold in the trade market is not the same as selling an item for 50 gold to the collector. You are getting 35 gold for an item you sell to 50 gold on the trade market. Because there is that trade fee. There is a portal spawn in the middle of the camp here, actually a couple of them. So what I'm thinking here is, maybe I can just camp around this area and wait for those portals to spawn because I don't need more loot here. Know when to bail, guys. You don't need to just sit around when you already are on full loot and keep looting some more. And there's two different teams here, both of which look like they would kill me. And so I just want to avoid them. Let's not. Also, a lot of rogue players seem to think of themselves as, like, way bigger than they actually are in their britches. I wait here for a minute, by the way, and now I get a portal spawn. I think it was more like 30 seconds, but whatever. Yeah, most rogue players think they're way more capable in PvP than they actually are. Rogue is the class that gets the most players who are affected by the Dunning-Kruger effect. They think they're really good at the game when they're really bad at the game. Rogues will lose most matchups at this point. Rogues are still really just not a strong class. There's a couple items I missed here to sell. I think I get like 150 gold or something out of this. Put those other items away that I'm going to sell later. And by the way, guys, if you want to see what all these items sell for, I did go ahead and record that, and it is all at the end of the video, so stick around for that. And you guys are going to see me with my 10,000 gold at the end there. Flat chest here is pretty good. I got pretty terrible loot out of it, although it can be good loot in flat chests. That one is an elite there, so it took 2 attacks. And this time I'm thinking, what about if I clear out the skeleton archers on top beforehand? Because those guys always mess me up when they're going down on the stairs. Not actually a good idea. Your best idea is to jump down into the ravine because you need to de-aggro the zombies and the wisps that get on you. And that's the best way to do that. I thought I could reposition myself in the air a little better there, and I do not. This archer's going to take a couple more hits there. I thought I was going to hit him there as well. Also don't. So now I know I need to go all the way around. Let's hit him with a good old 1-2 tap. I need to kill these guys as well now, which is 2 zombies and a wisp. This is majorly slowing me down. You don't want to be spending this much time with PvE. It's just generally not worthwhile. Three zombies are coming this way. And on top of that with zombies, they really give your position away with this fluorescent gas. They always like to spit at you. So now if anyone comes by, they know I'm here and they will hunt me down. By the way, Ruins players are way more aggressive than Crypts players are. Ruins players will hunt you down to the ends of the earth. You have to be very good at avoiding them to not have that happen to you. And that's why I like the caltrops, because they just can't stay within hearing range of you, so they lose you pretty quick. I hear a player coming nearby. He's up top. Sounds like just one lone dude. Okay, I already see that this dude has brain damage because he thinks he's reposed and he took his gear off. That means he will almost certainly lose to me in just a battle of one-on-one. And he decides, yes, even though I'm going for a very high movement speed build, I'm going to just stab him in his feet and not try to kite him. Because he couldn't kite me. And you're actually not better off taking off your gear items most of the time. You're better off doing that if PvE is going to one-hit you, or if all the players you run into are going to one-hit you. We're just running normal ruins here, man. Keep your armor on. And so that was literally a gear check there, by the way, which shouldn't have been a gear check, but he dropped his basic items with armor rating. Once your armor rating goes into the negatives of the curve, you are going to get blasted. Also, generally, the really good streamer players that you see doing that stuff, they would just run away from an encounter like that because they know they're going to get gear checked. Why would you stay in an encounter like that? Okay, we get some boots there with +2 strength. I believe I end up selling those later for 50 gold. And there's some gold ore here, which is why it was definitely worthwhile for me to take that fight. My gear going into this game was like 50, 100 gold or something like that. And this gold ore that I'm getting, that's worth a lot. By the way, mining those takes like 30 seconds. I'm just cutting ahead on each one of those because that's super boring to just watch me mine for 12 years. Just like it's super boring to watch me rest for 12 years. Okay, and I'm on full health, and I actually did hear people there on my left over to the east. And I'm not really realizing that. I haven't fully truncated that in my brain, haven't fully put that together. But I am running away from them now, so that is good. I'm running away from them quickly. Let's get away from them as quickly as possible. By the way, the main reason why I'm always pushing so hard to, like, jump over the boards is because it slows people down who are chasing you. Rogue is not a strong PvP class. But you know what is strong, though? His movement speed. No one can really catch you. It's not a thing. Even though a bard has faster movement speed, because you have double jump, especially on this map, you can get away from them in so many situations. And I got a really good pendant there, by the way, out of that royal coffin. I believe I sell that later for 300 gold. It's a purple badger pendant with some awful rolls, but also a +1 all attributes roll on it, so it ended up selling for a lot. Okay, and once again, using what I've learned here and killing the skeleton. We get a lion's head chest here again. I think gold chest is pretty rare here, but it can spawn here. Okay, all those gear items are trash, but we do get a surgery kit, which is great. I go ahead and put it on, so I save some inventory space. By the way, I do not use Molotovs enough. Molotovs are extremely good for getting players off of your tail. No one's going to push into the fire from those. And if they do, you are going to one-shot them afterwards. It does a lot of damage. That is, unless they're one of those barbarians with the 70% magic resistance and they just know they can run through that. Unless you're playing in high roller, you're not going to see those people, though. Also, let me know what you guys think of the new gear ceiling they've added to the regular lobbies. You can't bring purple items into the regular lobbies anymore. Or anything higher than that. It's quite interesting how it's influenced the prices of items in the game. Because oftentimes blues with good rolls will go for a lot more than purples with good rolls will now. I guess at the end of the day, people really just do want to stomp Timmies in the normal lobbies. And I keep seeing people make Reddit posts and all this sort of stuff where they're like, oh yeah, in high roller, you just don't make enough for it to be worth it. These people haven't tried New High Roller. New High Roller drops purples like crazy. It drops blues like crazy. If you're not coming out of a High Roller game now with 1,000 gold consistently, you don't know how to loot. Does that beat these runs with this gold ore? Honestly, I kind of doubt it, because High Roller, your success rate is lower. But a lot of people still play crypts, and not many people actually know about this gold ore mining method and how much money it makes. So that's not really what they're comparing. And Ruins doesn't have a High Roller in the first place, otherwise I'd be playing that instead. Like, you wouldn't see me doing this. And lesson learned, don't jump while you are around the archers. I do see a portal down there that I really want to take. I should be dropping caltrops back there in case someone comes from that direction, or dropping caltrops on the door over here. I do not, however. And instead, what I'm going to do is face tank these mob hits here, which I do. And the only health point that matters is the last one, because that's the one that requires you to survive. And you can use that while you're getting out, especially. Quite a bit of gold. And I re-kit, I put the surgery kit on, and you're starting to see me take more items in here. That is not because I want to take more items in here. I would like to go with base kit. My stash is full. I do not have any space in my stash. I am selling items that would perfectly easily sell for 50 or 100 gold on the trade market because I am not level 15 yet, and I'm already getting this wealthy. I get another really good spawn here, the northwest spawn. This spawn has a whole bunch of gold ore, so this is a great spawn. I end up getting thwacked, I believe, in the head there by that skull bat. Misplay on my part. This should be pretty easy for me to dodge. But who doesn't misplay from time to time? I don't think I've ever seen someone who plays this game perfectly. Also, someone was asking me in the comments how I avoid players so well. And the thing I can recommend you the most is use your ears more than your eyes if you want to avoid players better. If you hear them very far off and start running away immediately, there's a pretty good chance that they haven't heard you yet. Now, I also think some of these people who are asking me that probably don't have very good headphones. I've got a nice pair of headphones, and I think those really make a difference for this game. If you've got really nice headphones, you're going to be able to tell what sound is different from another sound and go, that's plate boots, that's heavy boots, that sort of thing. The lower tier your headphones are, it's going to be more difficult to figure out which type of sound you're hearing and know that it's players beforehand. And that's just how video games are at the end of the day. There is a lot of hardware components to being skilled at a video game, which is annoying. Okay, we're getting out of the zone here, and we got some good gold ore off of that. I believe I hit 2 gold ore nodes. That is some money. We're talking 1,000 gold run already. Dire wolves right there. Don't really want to fight them because I'm in the zone, which means I just can't see that well. That's mostly the annoying part here. And I know, the game is called Dark and Darker. You're supposed to not be able to see well, but that's the main reason why I don't want to fight them back there. And I just smacked that skeleton super fast because the archer would mess me up badly. I would go on top of the health shrine right now and cheese all these guys, but there is an axe guy and he would mess me up. I get caught on a torch there that I wasn't seeing. Almost get hit, but I don't. You can rotate around the right or the left of the axe guy and crouch and put your head down to avoid their attacks. If you're wondering why you're getting hit during that, I keep having that question asked in my comments. It's likely because you attacked too soon prior to it. Your arms being out of place can get you hit on your arms, which is really annoying, but it's just something you gotta learn. And I'm just trying to scrape together a little bit more loot here. This room right here has a lever in it that opens up a lion's head chest just right nearby. So a door over here just goes ahead and slides open. I was swapping out my gloves there for blue leather gloves because I was wearing gray ones before. They're just automatically better. And before you go down for the lion's head chest, make certain you clear out all the skeletons chasing you. I get hit there quite a few times. Good thing I took that health shrine earlier. And they were trying to force me into the zone, and there's also that crossbowman over there, so I kind of wanted to jump back over and just clear them out. And it should be pretty easy to tell just how much faster you can clear this with a rapier than with a dagger. Daggers are just terrible for clearing PvE. I understand that for PvP they can be better, but for PvE, nah, that ain't the way. Okay, I go ahead and loot the lion's head chest over here. Okay, 1 true physical damage boots. Those are good. Let's take some gold coins and some sellables. Nice. I actually get stuck there for a second in the corner, but I do a semi-crouch and that gets me out. Alright, there was a police car going by for a moment there, so I didn't want to catch it in the recording because that's just annoying on the sound quality of this video. I take that protection shrine right there, and we're going to go ahead and head out of here. The circle is moving away from me just about as quick as it can, and it's getting really annoying. That scroll there is better than the scroll I've got in my inventory. Let's go ahead and take that, and we'll head out. The scrolls are pretty bad value per slot, by the way. So generally, I wouldn't recommend them, but over nothing? Yeah, sure, go for it. Scrolls are the way to go. And I can run along the wall here and get out of here pretty easily. You can't jump up there, by the way. It doesn't work with double jump even. And I jump around here, and I tried to get up on top of that box, and that was actually my double jump that got used there, despite what it might look like, and I couldn't double jump back. And so now I gotta run all the way around again. But yeah, this is a useful spot to know. If you know you can run along the ridge here, you're going to have a much better time. And I'm going for that room again with the lockpick door that gets me to a gold chest or a lion's head. That is an elite skeleton there. Don't particularly want to fight it. Bait out an attack, close the door. Okay, someone has already killed the skeleton here. I heard him sipping a potion in that room. I closed the door on him. That's what you do, and you just keep moving. A lot of people do not trust the sounds they hear. Trust the sounds you hear. Even if it's wrong, it will save your life. And play careful with those sounds. Okay, you're like, I think I heard a player 2 steps away from me. Back up. Avoid them. Okay, there's a fight going on here. There's two-mans fighting each other. It seems like someone's already dead based off the chat there because I can see a zap death in the top right. So that makes me believe it's actually more than 2 teams of 2, so there's likely a third party involved. I am sitting in this corner waiting to ambush someone because this is the perfect time to ambush someone and get all the loot you could ever desire. The rogues kill someone over there. I have no idea what's going on. I'm kind of just waiting. That rogue, if he had gotten a bit closer, I would have stabbed him in the forehead and stolen his loot and ran away. I see a portal is open over there, and I'm understanding that this team on my left is way better geared than the rest of these guys, and they're totally going to clean up, and it's not worth my time to attack them because I'm realizing that guy has 10 spells. Ice Bolt and Light Orb gives that away easily. Okay, this rogue had some candy corn. Would have been nice to kill him and take his stuff. Like, there's other people I could have stolen their stuff from and just dipped. You can rat really hard, but engaging with this wizard and winning the whole fight? No, that wasn't happening. $125 gold from selling stuff, 6 gold ore. That's some money. We're talking over 1,000 gold there. Okay, we got the middle spawn again. The middle spawn is great. Just like before, it is phenomenal. And I'm going to show you guys again that I can do the same thing. 2 gold ore spawns this time. Nice. That is some money. Okay, that's nice. We got some gold out of there. And we're going to be very rich after this run. Always like to loot this room. Those jewelry spawns I keep finding there are very common. That right bangle spawn has a high chance to spawn jewelry. I should have attacked that spiderweb there, by the way. Once again, if I did actually hit the red portion there, I would be fine, but I get hit very hard right there. Honestly, should stop doing that. If it's old worm, just attack it. Once again, should have attacked that web there. And you can see how much it slowed down my attack speed. Don't want this thing to constantly dig like this, by the way. You want it to attack you. That's going to be faster. I don't know why it's doing this, because I'm not particularly far out of its range. Okay, smack him a couple more times in the head. I can get 3 hits on him each time. And now it's getting bugged in the corner. It does this sometimes, and you just got to get close and let it come up again. Smack it a couple more times. And do keep in mind, the longer it takes you to kill this, the more likely it is someone attacks you. This thing should be pretty close to dead. There we go. We'll check it for rusty key. Wow, a green pearl necklace. Nice. Honestly, that thing's loot is trash. They said they were buffing the mini boss loot, but I don't know what they were smoking when they said that. They did not do anything to Worm. Maybe they were talking about, like, centaurs and Inferno or something? Gold chest. That double axe is really good rolls. And you know what's really sad? I take it, and I sell it later for 50 gold. That's how much that is worth still. No one wants to use a double axe. No one wants two-handed barbarian weapons. They aren't worth picking up. Don't do it. They take up too many slots. At least with a rogue item, right? If it's a dagger and you lose it, you know, you go ahead, you bring it with, and it's like, okay, this ain't selling. You sell it to the store for 4 gold. That was 2 slots. When it's a barbarian item and it's like 12 slots, so not worth it. And I stood back up there because I heard these people above me and they were distracted with skeletons, so I didn't think they'd hear me. And I want it, if it happens again, that someone comes in, I stab him in the head this time instead of them getting away with it. He saw that the worm was dead on the ground. He immediately went back up and did not look anymore. I would at least check the area again to see if there's gold ore in it, guys. If you think the area is just there's no one in there. He might also have been thinking that there was an invisible rogue hiding in there, which very well could have been the case, and I was way more dangerous than an invisible rogue, let's be honest. Invisible rogues are pretty easy to check for, and they don't have much time on their invis. I was in a spot no one knows about. Spawning next to mid is also kind of nice because you're next to this lockpick room. This is a favorite of mine because it's really easy to run away into. I'm going to run into the zone for a moment here to go grab this. It's going to cost me some health, but totally worth it. Gold chest, bingo. Fail. You know, I hate how this happens, how it gets rid of, like, the chest screen because you're too far away. Put that short sword in my other slot, gonna sell it for a couple gold. Take that armlet, I shouldn't have. They just don't sell for much. Campfires are pretty nice. I like campfires. It drops a lot of them now, and that makes it a lot easier to sustain yourself in the zone. A lot more worthwhile. Clarity pots go for like 30 gold now, by the way, so those are usually worth picking up. I didn't know that, and these are another one of those like rounded lamps. Why? Why are they like that? If you're gonna do it like that way, Iron Mace, at least change the texture, because I have no way of knowing that before trying it once. There's definitely situations that could kill me in, and my eyes are just deceiving me for no reason. It's very bad game design. And once again, I know this game's early access. They might have plans to change the textures later. I'm not super angry about that. It just is not good game design, though. Okay, we get like 150 gold. Once again, would have gotten more if I didn't pick up the trash items. But I got 5 gold ore. We're making some money there. And you might have seen while I was putting my items away that my stash was very full. It's very full this whole time. I'm just trying to make some money here, and I'm not level 15 yet, and I'm trying to get to level 15. I'm just not there yet. Okay, we got some melee guys coming after me. Those are easy to deal with. 2 archers and a mage at the same time, though, that's not easy to deal with. This area is really designed for someone with range ability. What you do, though, is you go ahead and you can get the mage to just own itself, but even better than that, why don't you get the mage to kill the archers for you? There we go. Owns himself, and he owns the archer for me, so now I'm down to 1 archer. This should be pretty easy. And I rubber band there right into an arrow. That's pretty cool. I don't know why that's been happening a lot more frequently. Because I remember in the playtests on this game, how the servers were very stable, did not have any issues with rubber banding, but that's been more of an issue lately. Agility 3 cloak, and there are people coming up on me quick. I'm just grabbing all these items and getting out of here. Gonna grab this power shrine, actually, and maybe fight them. Honestly, standing your ground can be smarter sometimes, because people might get afraid of you. And a lot of Ruins players are really over-aggressive and overconfident. I'm trying to see here because I have a power shrine. Okay, can I mess these guys up? I don't know why this guy is okay with attacking me, because I will absolutely mess him up. He walks right in my caltrops, and wow, that did a lot of damage there on the Molotov. That's why those things are so good. I place more caltrops there at the door so they get slowed down. The hope is that the enemies will hit them real hard if they do end up running through the caltrops. They don't. I can jump over the wall over here and be fine and get away from these enemies. I should surgery here in the corner. And surgery kits take a long time to act, but it's way less time on rogue than it is on other classes, so that's good. Okay, what items did I get? +2 true magic damage boots. Okay. Maybe a cleric wants those. I've got a bolt in me because I got shot and I grabbed a stack of arrows on accident. Those aren't worth anything. And those were players over there. So now I'm stuck between 2 groups of hostile players. That other group, I did hit that fighter for something that should be a pretty decent amount. He just kept pushing, though. Those guys are just really aggressive players. If I'd been playing in a duo, we would have messed those guys up. But I'm not playing in a duo, and I'm not here to be playing like I'm in a duo. I'm also not even kidding. Also, the reason why those groups are so hostile to me right now, and oftentimes they aren't so hostile to me, is I have a cloak on. When you have a cape on, people get $signs for eyes. They go, whoa, I can make some big money if I kill that dude. And he's just a little solo rogue. He's mine now. I'm just rearranging these boots and stuff here. And we go ahead and we run in here, and we see that same group from before, it looks like. Might be the same group as before. They didn't really notice me despite me making pretty big sounds there. They should have been able to hear me. I don't know why those guys didn't turn around. And there's some more players over there. I'm just going to run through the zone and get out of here. I am sick of this. There's way too many players on this end of the map, and they have not killed each other. And you can see on the top right when there's way too many players left in the map, this is one of those games. No one's dying to PvE, and it's becoming a major problem. I want this lion's head chest. This is a little greedy of me. Honestly, most of that stuff was not worth grabbing. But I'm also thinking fast in the moment because I'm in the zone. I did not expect this guy to be able to run up and attack me there. I thought I was home free with a cheese spot. And I'm still going to loot these guys. I don't know if it's really worthwhile to do that. When they're in the zone, there is that chance for those wolf pelts still. But then again, I don't have much healing left. I already used my surgery kit. Throwing knives are kind of nice. No wolf pelt, though. Man, there's another player in front of me here. And I'm just going to try and be friendly with him. He's a barbarian. He can't hit me from this distance. Okay, cool. We're crouching at one another. He seems pretty friendly. He's not coming towards me. That is actual friendly body behavior. He's going the other direction. I'm thinking, okay, he's a barbarian. Maybe that room isn't looted still, and I could go loot it. Or maybe I should run south through the zone here for a moment and get out of here. Then I think, nah, I don't have much healing left. Probably not a good idea. And the big reason why that idea sticks in my brain there of going into that lockpick room is because there are health potions in there oftentimes. And those are huge. Yeah, Barbarian's still over there, but he's not showing to be super aggressive or anything. I honestly should have closed the lever on him here just to put a little bit more room between me and him. But I do keep my screen rotated towards him in case he starts pushing me. And he doesn't really want to here, it seems. Keeping the Swayander skeleton alive here is very important for me because if the Barbarian pushes me, he will get messed up. That double axe, once again, is a pretty good double axe. It is not worth it to grab, though. But I see good stats on that item. I just shove it in my inventory, and I get out of there. 2 health potions. Grab those. Once again, try and get over the boards there. Luckily, it's only 1 shot away from broken, so I get out of here. Get me out of here ASAP. There's an archer shooting at me. Trying to move some items around so I can heal up. That ranger was up top, so I don't think he's seeing me anymore, by the way. And he's more worried about the other people that are being forced in here. And I just drink a health potion and sit down in here. The PvE won't get me here, so I'm all good. And they're casting a whole bunch of fireballs and stuff on top of me, which means they are definitely fighting other players. I'm just going to keep healing with health pots here because I see the zones coming in. And I'm trying to get away from them as quickly as possible. And there's like 3 or 4 other people down at the bottom with me and the Ruins Golem. I would have jumped over to the healing shrine area over there, but I heard people there. I'm just going to run through this door, close this behind me, and get out of here as quickly as possible. Molotov time. That was actually a pretty well-placed Molotov. I don't think he was super hard after me or anything, or that he even necessarily wanted to go after me, but that's setting distance between me and him by creating an area he can't really go after. And now, because I know there are all those people on the south end of the map, I'm thinking, wait, there's some gold ore beneath me. Gold ore? My favorite. So I'm going to go get some gold ore here in a moment. And I see a portal there. Bingo! No one's going to come and look for that portal because the circle's moving in on it in a moment. And I got gold ore over here. This is the jackpot. Gotta kill the zombie, though. That rogue's cowl needs to go so I can actually mine. Okay, we get some gold ore there. None over there in that corner. It seems like someone else has already come through here and mined some of the ore. Although, they didn't do a very good job at it if that's the case. Or maybe there's just a chance that no ore at all spawns there. That could be as well. I get 5 gold ore. That's great. We're talking a good 750, 800 gold. Let's get out of here. Extract time. And be careful with the zone in situations like this. You don't want to run out of healing and be in the zone on low health. You could just die to the zone then. Okay, about 100 gold, and I picked up some trash items. I was getting chased most of that game, and I got like 800 gold worth of gold ore. So that was a great round, regardless of all the time I was getting chased. Okay, we're trying to kill this dire wolf here just to clear out some area. I'm running towards the royal coffin. That seems like the best loot area around here. Although that spawn is normally filled in these games. So not exactly my best idea ever. I'm killing these dire wolves along the way. And I thought I was in a safe spot here, but I actually ended up getting hit. And you'll learn safe spots better as you play the map more often. Like with crypts, I basically never get cheesed on my own safe spots. But on ruins, it's happening to me all the time. Okay, it doesn't seem like anyone's over here. I hear the bats beneath me, so that's a good sign. And I got a health pot. And is this open? Nope, it's not open. So we're gonna go ahead and go down. Get me down there. And for whatever reason, there's a skeleton there now. I'm thinking that was actually a change with the update, that they wanted to nerf the royal coffins a bit, so they added a skeleton as well to make it a little bit harder. Could be wrong, might just be a low chance. I can't see anything. I'm trying to hit him there, but I cannot see anything. It is pitch black. Kill him, and let's go ahead. Lantern's pretty cool. Francisca axes sell for half a decent amount. They're like a low-tier bangle or something, so they're not too bad per slot if you're just trying to sell them. You can also sell them in the trade chat if you get enough of them. If you get enough to like fill up a trade window, someone will give you quite a bit of gold for those because 2 Francisca axes cost them 24 gold. Especially if they're higher tier Francisca axes. Barbarians like those. 1 true physical damage mace. We're going to go ahead and take that. And I am hearing people above me now. I'm not super scared. Also, the spider pot, I had never seen it spawn over here before, which is odd. So I'm thinking they changed this room a bit with the recent hotfix and just gave it some more spawn locations, which is fine. That's always good to keep the map interesting. Okay, purple bardiche. Once again, should not take this thing. I end up selling this thing for 50 gold later. Totally not worth picking up. These big weapons, not worth it, like, ever. Maybe if it was like a legendary from a boss or something, but besides that, I wouldn't do it. And there were players very close to being on top of me, but the zone has pushed them back is what I'm thinking here, and I'm running back the same way I came in. And because I've already cleared out these dire wolves, it's fairly easy for me to run this way. Okay, I'm looking at the bardiche and going, are these rolls worth it to keep in my inventory? I came to the conclusion that they were. It was not. That conclusion was incorrect. But you never know how wrong you can be until you're wrong about something. It has +2 additional physical damage on it, and it's a purple. Like, I assumed it should sell for something, and it just doesn't. Okay, don't want to fight all those skeletons. There's not really any point to it. I do want to go down in mid here, so I'm thinking, okay, let's go ahead and go down there. I don't know if it's going to be cleared already. I do see some skeletons spawned. Okay, it looks pretty cleared, and there's no gold ore spawns left, so that's taken. I'm checking my spot in case there's someone there waiting to jump me, because I just think that would make great content if I actually caught someone there. I don't think anyone else really knows about that spot, though. That's why it's such a good hiding spot in the first place. Let's go ahead and keep going south and go in that lockpicking room. Not getting so lucky that we can get, like, so much gold ore or anything this time, but we're not dead yet, so that's good. And that's the thing, there's only so many gold ore spawns on the map, so you can't get them every time. Sometimes they will just all have players on them or all be taken already. Okay, gold chest, nice. Once again, not really killing this Wayhander guy anymore. It's not really worth it to me. 2 strength hood, that would be nice to take. Should drop the Bardiche and take that for my backup stash because it's a pretty good item. I dropped the campfires because I have too many at this point, honestly. They're dropping so commonly. Dropped the Morning Star. That was a good drop. I should have dropped the Bardiche over that, though. Take the Shadow Hood. Honestly, wouldn't get rid of the sellables again for that, but Shadow Hoods are not sold in the store. They are pretty good backup items on a rogue. Oh no, those are players. I need to be dropping caltrops here, and I am not. I got shot in the back there, and it hurts me very bad. I should have dropped caltrops behind me there. I did not. I definitely should have. But I'm just kind of panicking right now and trying to get away from them as quickly as possible. Which is also a good behavior set to do here, but slowing them down a little extra bit there would have been helpful. They are chasing me. And there's another group to the north, so I end up running this way, which pushes me back to the group towards the south. They can't hear me anymore, but I assure you they can hear these skeletons. It just depends how aggressive they want to be. And I don't see them through the wood boards over there, so I think I'm pretty good to go under here and hide. Basically, no one ever comes under here. I do not end up using a campfire here, and the reason for that is because the light bleeds through walls. If they fixed the light bleeding through the walls in a whole bunch of spots, I definitely would use it here. But they did not fix that. I rested there, and I skipped like a good minute and a half ahead. I rested for extra long because players were running past me. After I heard them run past me, I ran out immediately, and I'm trying to find portals now. Don't wait too long to find portals. It is very possible for you to get left without a portal on ruins. This is not Goblin Caves. And it ain't crypts either, where you can at least go down to Inferno, if nothing else. I place those caltrops there just in case a rogue tries to come up and attack me. That would slow him down a little bit. And I'm out. Okay, that was the last run. I have already made 10,000 gold, and I am level 15 now. So I actually get to realize those gold I have made. I become a trader. We sell these loose trousers with bad rolls that are purple for 50 gold. Those have 3 agility on them by default, someone like that. 150 gold for these items. 50 gold for these leather gloves that are really bad. They had like magic power on them or something. Flanged mace with 2 agility, sell for 50 gold. Double axe with good rolls, 50 gold. Another double axe with good rolls, 50 gold. Bardiche, sold to the armorer. 300 gold for a fox necklace with +1 all attributes. 300 gold for a really good phoenix choker with plus magic damage. 100 gold for a bit of a throwaway necklace, honestly. 2 throwaway necklaces, like actual throwaway necklaces that I would never use, go for 50 gold. Sell these other maces and this kettle hat to the store because they weren't selling for 50 gold and it's not worth my time. Sell these leather leggings for 100 gold that have +2 weapon damage. Sell this cloak for, I believe, 150. Yep, 150 gold. I sell this necklace right here for 50. I sell this wolf pelt for 300, and those other necklaces are worth a lot, but they just take forever to sell because they are such valuable necklaces. Most people don't have enough gold to pay for them. Wolf pelts were worth about 400 at the time, but I just quick sold it for 300. I'm putting away these items, and that's going to be it for me selling things. Those gold ingots are worth another 4,000. The gold ore is worth about 500. That Castilian dagger is worth probably 1,250, I had to guess, and the jewelry would get me to 10,000 if I sold it, or the cloak or whatever would definitely get me to 10,000. I just haven't sold it all, and I don't like sitting in trade chat for 2 hours. I sat here in trade chat for an hour to sell all these items. Okay, but anyways though, guys, if you liked this video, make certain to subscribe for more. See you guys!